guys just called me poor. Hey, we're back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. The results for us were great as far as awards go, but maybe not so great as far as Daddy Bill's condition, which we'll go over that later. This is going to be a little bit different video than most try to do to cover an event. I did not try to have total event coverage and participate in it at the same time because honestly, you guys would be the ones that would suffer. So I decided to go around and give some awards. Thought that might be fun, you guys, to see some unique stuff that caught my attention. Then we'll get to the Tulsa racing, and I'll just kind of cover how each track turned out for us. Well, we passed Tech, got our sticker. By the way, this worked out. This is the year I was born, old guys. And I'm glad we were here early because this is the line now. It starts back there, goes all the way around, and it goes back up front where we were. I have questions. All right, so far, best trailer award goes to this guy. All right, this is a rad K5 Blazer, and it gets the Southern Engineering Award for air conditioning. Love that. May just have to give this one best engine. I've heard of quick change rear ends, but I've never heard of quick change fuel pumps. What's your name?
Jacob.
Jacob, I'm Brent.
Good to meet you.
Your car is going to win the best swap award.
You want to see?
Please.
No, it's not a Hellcat swap. It's three Hellcats in front.
All right. You know, I'd seen or heard where they had the brackets or somebody machined them.
Started selling them.
Who's that?
Trinity Performance
Trinity.
Design, yeah.
Okay. I guess because they also have like GT500 supercharger brackets that you can put on an LS.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's SWS Motorsports.
Okay.
I've met those guys down in Texas.
So is this still the 6-liter that this?
It's a 416.
Okay, so stroker. Very nice. What class are you running?
6 shifts.
Nice. Right, nicest car in the entire event. Belongs to Steve Hefner. This is an Oldsmobile Cutlass that absolutely is zero expense spared build. Everything about it is perfect. The wiring, the mechanical, still kept some factory interior pieces. Everywhere I look in this car, I can't find anything that was overlooked, rushed. And look, this thing was driven 1,300. How many miles did we drive, Steve? 1,300?
No, it's more like 15 and some change.
Okay, 1,500 miles just happened in 4 days on this thing. Big block, twins. They're tucked in nice. All this stuff's custom fabricated. And the theme gets carried over. If you see like this arc here, you see the same thing on the interior.
OBS truck pulling up here in the right lane. That's Brent Fulton, the 89 model Sierra.
Let's go. Tulsa uses an app for the results, so you can just get a screenshot of those. You see here after our first pass what we ran, and then we decided to make a second pass, planning to be in the 13.0 class. But being a knucklehead, I forgot to open the bottle, so all it really did was pull timing and add fuel. Lucky for us, the times were still so close together, it kind of showed us that we could have a bracket vehicle, to be honest with you. And the tailgate class was the only one where you could choose your own dial-in out of this many classes. So we went with that, thinking we'd be consistent enough. So got ready to head out of Tulsa, and the starter just kept cranking for some reason. Like the solenoid got hot and shorted out, but I couldn't tell if it was an ignition issue hanging up in the column or if it was the starter itself. It ended up not doing it after a few minutes, so to be on the safe side, we bought a jack at Harbor Freight along the way, and we also bought a starter at an O'Reilly's to have in our back pocket. Those of you who don't know or have not watched videos on this, they don't just let you drive to the next track by putting the address in your GPS and sending it. They give you the turn-by-turn directions that you have to take and checkpoints that you have to make stops by to take photos of. So on this leg of the trip, I believe there's a restaurant in Bonita, Oklahoma, and then another restaurant, I think Woody's, which we went ahead and stopped in there and ate, and it was a great stop, so good call on that one. The next day we were in Odessa, Missouri. The track was Flying H Dragway, and it was a super nice, newer facility. And we ran such a close pass to our dial-in, we were able to just kind of pack up and head on to Wichita. We stopped at, I can't even remember the town that this restaurant was in, but it was pretty cool. We met the owner, and that's what this stuff's about. So we made it to Wichita. You had to go to the Mel Hambleton dealership, who was a sponsor for the event. And that's a photo you had to take on that drive day. And we spent the night there. The next day, we had to get to Noble, Oklahoma, or near Noble, where Thunder Valley Raceway Park is. The weather didn't love us. We were traveling down the highway at some point, and there was a tornado north of us and a tornado south of us, and kind of torrential downpours in different parts. So lucky for us, everything on our truck worked great, except the seal for our cab light, I think, or maybe the back window, because the things in our back seat were wet, our carpet was wet, but everything under the bed cover was dry. Thunder Valley staff didn't bother showing up until we got there to start drying the track. So you can see our first pass didn't happen until 10:37 a.m. We were supposed to start racing at 7. It was not ideal. So the track prep wasn't done. We spun so much that we ran this 14.839, which is over a second slower. But you'll notice the mile an hour was right exactly where it was supposed to be, just proof of spinning. Also, if you look at the 330 foot, it's 6.735, and everything else is considerably less than that, like 2 seconds and 2 seconds. So our second pass, we broke out, which means we went below our dial-in of 13,472 just by a little bit. So we had to use our fast pass because we weren't going to get another try. And we ended up running a 13,485. Again, looking for a 13,472. And that mile an hour is just about 100.5, which I did let off because I was trying to watch the speedometer and make adjustments. Fourth track was Texas Motorplex in Ennis, Texas, which by far was the biggest and nicest facility that we visited. The facility also really had its stuff together. Considering the class that we were in, you can see on this, our first pass was actually made at 8:33 a.m. compared to the Thunder Valley at 10:37 a.m. So quite a differential there. The prep was so good, the truck actually did break out on this first pass with that 13,457. And then we got another run in and it broke out again with 13,464. And I did let off, I thought, enough because we went from 103 miles an hour to 101. Scrambled last second to make our last and final pass of the entire week.
All right, Brent Fulton is our final car down the racetrack.
I don't know if you could hear it at the end of that video whenever I let off, but we ended up with this 13.525, and we were only at 96.4 miles an hour at the trap. So you can see most of the other times we were 101, 102, 103. That's how much we had to let off to not break out and put down a 13.525. And then we had to make it back to Tulsa. 10 minutes into the drive, that R4 radial compressor, the clutch let go, which the guys at Vintage Air tried to tell me not to buy that one, but I'm stubborn. Then we got stuck in traffic. The engine got pretty warm. We were stuck on a bridge going across the lake, so there's really nowhere to go. We pulled over at the first gas station we could, let the engine cool, and that starter problem jumped back up and would just continue to crank and wouldn't shut off even if you pulled the key out. So we jacked that thing up. Luckily we had that starter and some cardboard, crawled underneath there and changed it out. We made our 2 checkpoint stops. One of them was just in O'Reilly in Texas, and then the other one was in Henrietta, Oklahoma at this old DX station. Then the next day, we're back to Tulsa for a check-in and wait around for the awards assembly. There was a band. It was pretty rad actually, and then our wives came out and sort of hung with us.
And with an 088 differential, the 89 GMC Sierra of Brent Fulton.
Let's go!
Brand new class out here at MEGAWEEK. Who loved that tailgate class? Should we bring that back next year? I can call Silverados all day long, baby. Drake, you're right. Give it up for those tailgate guys.
I mean, what do you know? I mean, we showed up after repairing it from that little issue that we had the day before race week started, and you know, zip tied this fan in place. We did have some heating issues, and we had some cooling issues too, considering we lost that clutch, but we didn't lose coolant. Nothing too terrible. We did have the rain involved, and we had some leaking. That's why I've got this fan blowing on here. You'll notice that box right there. We'll talk about that in the next video, because yeah, this is not a scene that we typically have under Daddy Bill. So that's gonna require some attention to figure out what we had going on there. So yeah, these drag and drive events are not for the faint of heart. If you don't have the mental fortitude or the mechanical dependability of something, it could cause nothing but problems for you. And we had just a few, to be honest with you. I appreciate you guys watching this video. We're super excited that we were able to win. And we've got some new stuff coming for Daddy Bill to maybe eliminate any mechanical issues in the future. Hopefully, we'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Didn't turn the